the validity, the morality, and the purpose. That's what one is faced with the God, the Lord, and the Savior that they serve. The religion, the holy text, the validity of, the morality of, and the purpose. First is requirement of the validating of said God or gods, the validating of the religion, the validating of the tenets, of the laws, of the commandments, as being valid in truth, as being valid as in coming from God. The one true God, the one of many gods, are coming from the God that would be in a position to give the laws, the commandments, the tenets that requires the adherence to, that is able to dictate, to give reward and punishment. All must be validated. Then we had the moralities of the God, his laws, his tenets, his commandments, his rewards, his punishments. They must be proven to be morally just. Morally just when put up against what? That which we can hold to be moral. What is the highest standard of one that we can say is of the highest morality, of the highest value, righteousness? Must that God prove us morality? One would say that it is God himself that creates morality, and that which he puts forth is what is moral, and that which he goes against is immoral, no matter what it is. If God dictates a killing, a murder, a homicide, then that is what is moral. That is what is just. That is what is righteous. Being that as God is the sole dictator of all that is. And so what we're faced with, that we will not find ourselves to be in a position of contradiction, of confusion, of trying to discern, well, what is moral, what is immoral, when we look with that which a God may say for us to do and that which we as humans say that we should do each other. There would be no confusion. There would be complete and utter clarity in what is being put forth as that which is moral. And a purpose. It will have to be sensible for as much as we can discern as being sensible for the purpose of being creative, of going through life, of going through the trials, tribulations, the pains, the sufferings, the sorrow and the agony, even the happiness, the purpose of it all, the purpose of knowing and not knowing, the purpose of bringing us into a state of being when there was not a need to bring us in a state of being. Purpose. Humanity's purpose. God's purpose. The purpose, once again, the purpose of all. The purpose of reward. The purpose of judgment and punishment. The purpose. Purpose to be deemed moral, immoral, by way of saying, well, if we wouldn't have been created, then wouldn't have been a need. If we wouldn't have been created, then all the pain and suffering wouldn't have been necessary. So by way of the act of will of God brings creation, then there must be a purpose of, first is a purpose of us, of this God bringing us into being, a purpose, a will for purpose, a plan, not just happenstance, not just for the sake of it, not just for the fun of it, but a purpose. Does God have to have a purpose? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's beyond having a purpose. Maybe just his purpose is just his will of being for the sake of doing. But once again, we should not come into any points of contradiction, of confusion, of angst, of uncertainty when we are to deal with this, when we are to deal with a specific God, with a specific religion, of trying to come away with a purpose for it all. Validation, morality, purpose. What more can be validated than truth? What more shows its validity than truth? For just the act of validating must be done by way of truth. To validate any and all things must be done by way of truth. So truth itself validates itself. What is greater than that? Morality. What is more moral than truth? Being that truth is that which speaks to all things, being that truth is that which guides all things, being that truth is that which leads us, can lead us, does lead us, should lead us to the way that we should be, the way we act. Just in all manners. Truth is that which leads us in all manners. Even if it is by way of faith, it is faith in truth. It is moving forward in faith and belief that something will occur, something should occur, and doing things with the eye, the mind towards truth. Truth that has been validated in some sense in the past, thus projecting to the future that truth is that this is what will occur. What is more valid than this? All other things, all gods, all religions must bring itself to truth to be validated. So what is more moral? There is no error in truth. There is no immorality in truth. There is no wrongness in truth. There is no evil in truth. Truth is truth. Truth is that which dictates all. In purpose. Truth has no purpose beyond being truth itself. It has no purpose. It is by way of truth that things receive their purpose. It is by way of truth that things receive their purpose. Our existence itself, the purpose of our existence, truth speaks to it as a purpose in the sense of the result of. Truth itself will have no motive, no ulterior motive for us coming forth into being. It is only the purpose of the ability to be, the ability to come to existence, the ability to create, the ability to live, the ability of life to be, which is the purpose. And truth itself, its purpose is to dictate the truth of purpose. And it is truth above all things, above all gods that can be said to be God. Above all religions, I can say it to be religion. Above all faiths, I can say it to be a faith. Above all beliefs, I can be said to be a belief. It is truth above all which shows itself to be valid, to be moral, and have the ultimate purpose. There's no confusion. There's no contradiction. There's none of that which one finds themselves to be. There's no need to create an excuse, a reasoning, as one finds in any and all of the gods and religions. All gods, all other gods, all others said to be gods, all other quote, unquote gods that are said to exist. All other religions are said to bow down to lend themselves to, speak to a specific God. All religions which bring forth a holy book or a holy word. None of them offer the clarity of truth, the easiness of truth, the ultimate supreme power of truth. None of them. And of course, as I say this, it is I, it is you, that must go to truth to validate everything that I've just said. Cannot be escaped. Cannot.